Hello, my name is Aldina Correia. This is a master work of Carlos Gomes with my colleague Vítor Braga. I am from Porto. I have here a picture from Europe, so Portugal is in the in the hand of Europe, and my school is near to Porto. In Porto, we have two campus, and then we have my school in the interior of the country. So my school is the School of Technology and Management of Polytechnic of Porto, and I would like to invite you to come to Porto because it's a lovely city, I think, and to visit the River because it's very interesting, and we have good wine and good weather, not so good than Greece, but is a good country to visit. So my student, Carlos, is studying entrepreneurship, and the entrepreneurship is a subject in management because the master of the student is management, in international manage, in fact. And the theme is the entrepreneurship and the characteristics of the individuals to being entrepreneur. He has two stimulus in their work. The first study that he performed is about the stimulus and favorable environment created by the governments for entrepreneurship. And the second one is the impact of perceptions and characteristics of the individuals to become entrepreneur. So this is the motivation of his work. So the general objectives are that ones, to understand the priority given by governments in incentive for entrepreneurship, and the second one is about the impact of of the perceptions of the people about their own characteristics and their decision to be both nascent entrepreneur, so new entrepreneur, and also international nascent entrepreneur. For that study, we use well-known database or dataset, which is the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. This is a project well known in the world. The database uses a lot of people to answer to the survey. They have two surveys in particular. I talk about in a few minutes. And in the first study, the Carlos has studied the factors influencing expert perceptions regarding the priority given by the governments to support the entrepreneurship. So a lot of hypotheses are formulated based on literature. We have a lot of literature about entrepreneurship, but they are about different subjects. So in this case, Carlos joined all the studies, and he studied all the perceptions and the role of these perceptions in the entrepreneurship and effective entrepreneurship or creation of new firms in the countries. So the results, the final results show several factors. This is a published paper of Carlos. The results show several factors as the literature suggests, but we have a lot of papers, and now we have all together, and the results are, some ones are contradictory with some studies, but in generally the results are the same, but all together in the same paper. The second study, the second part, the master thesis of Carlos is composed by two papers. And the second study presented in a conference, he studied how what characteristics of the people are important for being a nascent entrepreneurship or entrepreneur. What is the characteristics of the people to be to have a new firm? For that, she used another database from GEM, from Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, the APS, and he studied four models, four logistic models, for studying these characteristics. So another study with a lot of studies joined together and a study of a lot of variables. I show you in the next slides. In this presentation, we include other variables in literature, and we put all together and we test in partial models several variables that we found in literature. So in this work in particular, the hypotheses are about the decision to internationalization. So the first part, using the nascent entrepreneurship, do not have the international concept, okay? So they found, we studied the people that create companies in their countries. So the second part, formulated in this work, is the decision of internationalization, okay, to become international business in the world. So the theoretical support has a lot of authors, as you can see, and also like the first works, and we have a lot of people talking about the characteristics that are important to be an international entrepreneur. So here we have two hypotheses about. The decision to internationalization is related to the nascent entrepreneur perspectives and individual characteristics, so two groups of variables. And the other one is the decision to internationalization is affected by the macroeconomic environment. So are studies, different studies for different people, and we want to put all together. So just for saying about some things about the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. The Global Entrepreneurship Monitor is composed by two main surveys. The Adult Population Survey. This is a survey related with the attitudes, activities, and aspirations in relation to entrepreneurship, about people, usual people, okay? And the other one is the National Expert Surveys. This survey is a survey to experts in entrepreneurship, professors, banking officers, or something, people related with entrepreneurship, or entrepreneurs in fact. So the NASH, National Expert Survey, is about the environment, is the perception of the experts about the environment in their countries to create business, and they are professionals in diverse areas of the entrepreneurship. So these two sets of questions are applied all the years, okay? And we use this one, the corresponding to this year, because when Carlos does this work is the last available. So we have a delay in the availability of the data. So now we can do another study with the new data, but not the data for this year because it's not available. Okay. So we have a lot of respondents in APS, in NES, in the National Expert Survey is a smaller set of people, okay, but we have a lot of people in here, and 60 countries are included in this data. So, in this study in particular, we want to understand what is an entrepreneur? What is the difference between the people that are entrepreneur or not? So the dependent variable is decided using this question. You are alone or with others currently trying to start a new business, including any self-employment or selling any goods or service to others. So individuals that respond yes to this question have two more questions about. So the other is, over the past 12 months, have you done anything to help start a new business? And will you personally how part or none of business? So only the respondents who answered yes to the first question and all or part of one of these ones or the both to the second question, where we identify as nascent entrepreneurs. So it makes zero or something somewhere. So 10% of the people survived are entrepreneurs in this data. Having into account the internationalization, we use another variable. So this variable is used in the models 6, 7, 8, and 9. Has the dependent variable is about the question strong international orientation. So is about 25% of the results are entrepreneurs with internationalization scheme. The independent variables used are the one collected in all the papers study. A lot of them are about demographic and economic variables. So these variables are usually in the studies about entrepreneurship. For example, the age of the people, the person or the individual, the gender, the education, the work status, and the household income. So this is the general studies have these variables, the demographic, economic variables about the people. Then in the APS we have a lot of other variables which are not measure variables, are perceptions, and are we can talk about them as perceptual variables, and are about the opportunity perception. So the question is, in the next six months, will there be good opportunities for starting a business in the area where you live? So is the perception of the individual to have a good opportunity for making a firm or a company, and so on. Confidence in our own skills, so the perception of the individual to have skills to do a business, and the perceptual variables about a lot of things about these things. So another question that we include in these models are the country effect variables, with the goal to have in order to study this hypothesis, the macroeconomic environment about the internationalization effect. and to study this kind of relation. So for that we use a dummy variable for each country. So for example, if the country if the person is from Portugal, we put the value 1, and if not, 0. If we have Greek people, we put 1 in this variable and 0 in the other one. So all countries are codified, have one variable, and we study the effect of the country in this question. So we have two dependent variables, the entrepreneurship and also the national entrepreneurship, and also the international entrepreneurship. So we have a lot of models. One more, yes, it's better to see. So we have a lot of models. These 4 models are presented in the first paper, are about the characteristics, the effect of the characteristics. The first one is demographic economic variables in national entrepreneurship. Just is a usual model for this kind of things. In the second one, we had the perceptual variables, and we have a logistic regression model to classify the people as nascent or no nascent entrepreneur. Then in model 2, we also analyze the perceptual variables, and in model 4, we have the first and the second, but the variable is a little difference. Okay, so in this paper presented now, we intend to study the international entrepreneurship, and we have these 4 models. In the first one, we consider the demographic variables. Then we consider the demographic and perceptual, then the perceptual alone, and then the model 9, we have all the variables. The results in summary are in here for nascent entrepreneurs. So we have significance for all the variables that we consider. Some ones are negative, or some ones are have a positive effect, but we have all the variables are important, or the most are important. In conclusion, because I have no more time, the assumptions of the models are all verified. In generally, the hypotheses are verified, and we have models with good indicators for the models. For example, in model 9, the 9 is the model using the 3 dimensions, and for international entrepreneurship, we have the same variables, and we testing the country effects because it's the new thing in this model, and this model with this model we provide the influence of macroeconomic influence in the international entrepreneurship, and we have a pseudo R square in this model around 18%, which is a higher result of the 4 models before, studying the international orientation. And for the 60 countries, 49 have country effect in the result. Analyzing the 4 models, it concluded that all the 3 types of variables are statistically significant and related with international orientation in entrepreneurship. So the hypotheses of this work are confirmed, which means the decision to international entrepreneurship is influenced by the perceptual variables, but also by the environment and culture and of the different countries. So the main goal of this work is that one, and we have proved this suspicious of our study. So it's not just to see the demographic and perceptual variables of the people. It's also important to see the country of the people, because it's not always the same things that are influencing the decision to be an international entrepreneur. So all of the groups are important in the decision of internationalize, and also in the decision of to be entrepreneur. And we use the logistic regression models because is a good model for this kind of decision. But maybe an entrepreneur is more entrepreneur than other one. We can have a lot of levels of response variables. So maybe the study can be done in other way, and also to have questions for the people. So it's some tips for future works. But the goal of this work is that one that I show you. Thank you very much. Maybe you want to